As you may have heard, there was a Azerbaijani passenger airplane being struck down by the Russian military, and their excuse was, well, oh, we thought it was a Ukrainian drone and we was shooting down Ukrainian drones at the same time, so we must have hit you by accident. But then why didn't the Russian authorities give the Azerbaijani passenger airplane a emergency landing? Because they asked for an emergency landing after being hit in Russia, but then the Russians said no. So basically, the plane or the pilots, they ran out of hydraulics. So they were relying on engine thrust, and they managed to make an emergency landing back in Azerbaijan. But unfortunately, upon landing, 38 people died, and including the pilots, and 29 people survived. So the pilots are absolute heroes because they sacrificed their own lives, and they managed to at least save half the plane. But then this takes us into a bigger conversation of what's happening in that region of the world. Because in my opinion, the war should have never started. It was the incompetence of the Biden administration. But now it has started. We have to find a way to end it. And in my opinion, and I know a lot of Ukrainian people get really passionate about this, as I said, this war should have never started. However, now that it has started, and I know Russia are in a weak position, I just don't think Russia will give back the land they've taken. Putin wouldn't spend billions of dollars and hundreds of thousands of men and capture like 20-25% of eastern Ukraine to give it back. So I think that land is gone. I'm sorry for all the Ukrainian people watching out there. In my opinion, if you want to strike a deal, this is what should happen. We should give the land to Putin, but we tell him you don't come an inch forward, and then the rest of Ukraine can go and join NATO. Another perspective on this is that Russia doesn't really care about the Islamic Republic. They just use it as a playing card in their hand. So I think the strategic thing for the West to do is to befriend Putin. Get him on his good side, make a deal with him, and then we can make the Islamic Republic of Iran the enemy. Because he even said that on the Tucker Carlson interview. He was like, I was willing to cooperate with America against Iran, and they didn't cooperate with me. And before people say, oh, you just want Iran freed, you don't care about Ukraine. I do care about Ukraine. But you tell me, do you think it's worth us going to World War III with Russia over 25% of Ukrainian land? I understand that Ukrainian people, they love their home, but let's keep it real. Like, majority of the people living there are ethnically Russian. Again, interesting developments in the world we shall see with great interest.